What's going on, everybody? I'm Jonathan with Current FM. You know, if you're driving home, you're working through the grind of the Monday through Friday, tune in to Current FM Monday through Friday, 2 to 7. I'm hanging out with you, playing incredible music to really just lift your, maybe you're having a rough week or rough day. Maybe a song will come on just at the right time to take you through the afternoon drive home. So check it out, Monday through Fridays, 2 to 7, right here on Current FM. CurrentFM.com, 88.5, 97.9, 103.7, 103.9, tons of options, or anywhere you go on the TuneIn Radio app, absolutely free. Check it out. I've got the word for the afternoon to encourage you. I've got great music. So hang out with me on the afternoon drive, Monday through Friday, 2 to 7, right here on Current FM.
Yeah. Mike Bell. Another real life exclusive. When I write a rhyme, I let this light of mine shine. Using wisdom, casting weapon that a spider might climb. They get caught up in it, then of course it's dynamite time. The spiders blow you up with a dynamite line. But Christ's mind is the pipeline that I drink from. A nice wine for a nice time, come and drink some. You might find that your lifeline's in the kingdom, or might find it's the right time, you should seek them. Lost in the beat, but these bars built for keeping black boys off the streets. Like a government conspiracy involved that was leaked. And now they know about it, so they call for requite. And all that ain't political, still talking about me. I speak the truth and live in color every time I speak. I'm like a Wayne's brother when the show is at its peak. I team up with my brothers so the family can eat. And even more than that, I want the planet to be free. And walking with the Father, planning Adam with the planners for humanity. Sheesh. Yeah. Mike Bell. Follow me. Mike_Bell_music on Instagram. God bless. Shout out Duke White. Real life.
With Real Life with Duke White. I am joined again today with Kat Weir and Christina Milford from Jamaica. She's all the way from Jamaica to tell us her story. Well, actually, she came here to be with Kat because they're friends. She didn't come here for me, but I'd like to pretend. So you brought her here. You met her here. Last week you were telling us a story about how you met because her ministry is something that's really close to your heart because of the fact that you were born out of a rape and then you met your mother years later. So what she does is something that's very near and dear to your heart. Yes. And that, I think that's a God connection. God does
Absolutely.
That. He puts people
Without
together
question.
all the time. You guys were meant to meet. And
soul sister.
That's right. And so you are now volunteering to be like her project manager.
That's correct, yes.
And the whole reason you went to
Fundraising.
Jamaica anyway, for those that missed last week, is her husband is Jamaican.
Yeah,
so,
man.
And so it really is. It's a connecting thing. God put that together. And so we are so glad that you did bring her here. And last week we were talking a lot about abortion. Of course, we talk about it all the time in the United States, and we know a lot of the statistics. But what she does, as she told us last week, she, I guess, founded a home in 2005 for young girls, teenage girls that really have no other places to go. And you said about 60% of them are pregnant when they come in. And it's the only one of its kind in Jamaica, which is absolutely wonderful that her heart is so big and you help these girls. Over 300 girls you have helped since
far.
2005.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
God cares about them.
I'm sorry?
God cares about them.
Yes,
and
God
so-
cares about them so much. And He brought them to your front door.
Yes.
He opened your front door. Today we're going to be talking more about sex trafficking, because just like it is here, sex trafficking is something that is going on in Jamaica,
Prevalent.
and people just kind of brush it under the rug, or it's not talked about the way it should be.
Yeah.
It is modern day slavery, and our children are getting sucked into this at 12. The average age for a child or a person going into sex trafficking is 12 to 14 years old. That's the average age. So it could be younger. That's the average age. And $150 billion a year is earned in sex trafficking in some sort. $150 billion a year is earned. And that's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And there was a study done through the Beasley Institute. There were 66 girls that the Beasley Institute did a study on. They all came out of sex trafficking. They were all survivors. But out of those 66 girls, there was 114 abortions. So sex trafficking is also tied to abortions. And they're often, these girls are made to have the abortion. It's forced upon them. They have no choice. They have no say-so in the matter. And sometimes, because abortion is illegal in Jamaica, so they go to these doctors that may not be doing it safe or correctly, and they end up getting hurt and even dying from it. You know, something that, because they're scared to tell somebody, or they're being forced to do it, it ends up costing them their lives, or a permanent disability, or no longer able to have children in the future because of this, you know, fear. And so I guess that's what we were talking about today. How is sex trafficking in Jamaica? Do you know anything about it?
Yeah, a lot. I've come to know a lot. I didn't know anything before. Shared Hope International out of Washington here came to us. The president, Linda Smith, had been mandated by the U.S. government to do research on the subject. So in 2007, I think it was, she came to Jamaica. Jamaica was one of 4 places that she chose to do this study, and found that it was thriving. So there's a video link that's still on YouTube. If you type in Jamaica sex trafficking, human trafficking sting operation or sex trafficking, you'll find it there, where a little girl, 13 years old, was being sold in a hotel room by a man who posed as her uncle. He was not her uncle. And this is a man probably in his 60s.
Right.
And she was a friend of his daughter in school. And when they asked him, so, because the undercover agents, you know, asked him, so does her mother get some of this money? He said, no, she trusts me, man. She trusts me. You see this girl now? I could get her out of her house anytime I want. Which leads you to wonder, how is it a 13-year-old girl can be going out with this old man at night at her mother? Maybe she sold him, sold her to him for, you know, she was trading him. Well, Shared Hope came along and was seeking a place to place her, and found out just as we had started up with our little place that was not very nice and didn't have any money to do what we needed to do. They've assisted us to help these girls to fix up the place nicely. So they said, fix it up that when a girl wants to, when she comes in, she doesn't want to run back out.
Right.
And so we had that. That's where we started. But truth to speak, when I first started, before 2005, the first girl I intervened with, I didn't know it was trafficking. I didn't know the name. Her story, when it unfolded, she said she was 13 years old when this man, who was then 40, came into her life, or somewhere around 40. He had a truck and he had money, so he gave her grandmother and her aunts whatever they needed, and he had her.
Oh.
So trade had been in effect with her. Oh, no. She said at 15 she got pregnant, and no, they were afraid because she's underage. Until she's 16, it's not legal for her to be sexually active, but that was okay while they collected money. So they were pressuring him, and he took her into his home. She said he gave her everything she wanted, treated her so nicely. And she was 5 months pregnant when he convinced her that she needed to be back in school. She doesn't need a baby now. And so she agreed to an abortion. She told me in 2004 that the year before, she said it cost 25,000 Jamaican dollars, which at the time would probably be about, I don't know, $250. US. She said it cost $25,000 to kill my baby at 5 months. The first day was bad or not so bad, but the second day, I wanted to die to get my baby back. But there's no getting the baby back. So she persisted in wanting to get pregnant. The man had big children. And so when she got pregnant again, she was very happy. Well, he was not. And she had no place to live. She advertised on the radio. Pregnant, 16 years old, 4 months pregnant, nowhere to go. Can you help me? And there was nobody to help. Eventually somebody took her in because I had nowhere. They called my attention to her, but the most I could was talk and counsel. I wanted to get the man arrested, but she would not have turned him in because she fancied herself in love with him. Well, the end of that story, she had her baby. By that time I went to Montego Bay. She called me one Sunday evening, it was, to say she had her baby. She had a C-section. It was a boy, 8.5 pounds. She's calling me because they discharged her from hospital and she had nowhere to go. And my heart sank into my belly because I can't imagine being in that situation at all. I said, I'm so far away from you. I'm all the way in Montego Bay. How can I help you, my dear? She said, can you call his mom for me? So this 40-odd-year-old, he was 43 by the time she had this child. His mother knew about her. She had his mother's number. So she commented, she said, I told him to leave these young girls alone, but she took her in, and then he came and got her, took her to his apartment where he had another woman. And she was there in the same room with her baby. That's more abuse. So the landlord found out what was happening and accosted him outside and really gave it to him. He couldn't do anything to the landlord, so he went inside and beat her with her baby. So she ran back to the people who sold her. The end of that story is, well, at least she came to find the Lord, because I kept in touch for a while. Then as cell phones went, I lost contact. But I believe that could have been at a better place.
Right. Oh,
that was the first story. Then a girl came to her home. She was 15 years old, and she had left her home the year before to live with a man who would send her to school. Why didn't her mother tell the police? I said, I need to talk to your mom. I need to get to her. So we arranged it, and I met her mom on a Saturday morning. And the first thing this mom said, she was 32 years old. She had her 7th child on her hip, a 6-month-old baby. And the first thing she said to me is, Miss, my mother sold me. I'm telling you in English, but she told me in Patois. She said, my mother sold me when I was 15. I said, excuse me, what did you say? Yes, miss. I remember the day as if it was yesterday. We had nothing. My mother likes things. I went and spent the night over with my school friend. And when I came back next day, there was a whole pile of goodies, nice things. And I said, Mom, how you went shopping? You told me you didn't have any money, and you let me go to my bed hungry. And Mom said, come and sit beside me. Let me explain it to you. Like she said, you know Mr. Milford? And she said, yes. Well, you're going to have to go be with him. You have a day with him. You have to live with him, be sexually active with him. And she said, Miss, Mom was an old man. She said, well, he provided this, and you paid for it.
Oh no!
So she had no choice.
I was reading that happens a lot in Jamaica, that the mothers.
I was hearing firsthand, so I'm being shocked little by little with these stories, and that was her real life. So
that was her real life.
This child was the second child from that union because she didn't have a choice.
Right. Wow.
It's
Well,
happening.
we will be right back in just a few minutes to hear some more stories.
The devil tried to take me, but Christ ain't gonna let me go. This world gon' try to break me, whatever, I can't let it show. I'ma go off instead. I'ma go off instead. I'ma go off instead. I'ma go off instead.
I am one in a million.
I am one of a million.
I'm one of a million.
I am one of the million.
I am one of a million.
I am one of the million.
I am one of the million.
I am one of a million.
I am one of the 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 million.
I am one of a million.
I am one of the million.
I'm one of the million.
One of the million.
I am 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 one in a million.
This is not a trend.
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 This is not a trend. This is a movement.
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 It's a movement.
This is 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 a movement.
3, 2, 1.
Hey guys, I'm one of the CSJ teens.
What?
Hey guys, it's Faith White. I'm one of the CSJ teens, and I want to invite all teens from ages 13 to 19 to be a part of our CSJ commercial. And if you want to be a part of this and you're on fire for God, and you can call info.
You get info call.
Say it.
3, 2, 1.
Hey guys, this is Faith White. I'm one of the CSJ teens, and if you want to be a part of our CSJ commercial movement. Is it commercial or movement?
It's commercial.
Okay, it's commercial. Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Hey guys, it's Faith White. I'm one of the CSJ teens, and if you want to be a part of our CSJ commercial, you can info at. Oh my God!
You're some of the teens.
Hey guys, it's Faith White. I'm one of the CSJ teens, and I want to invite all teens from ages 13 to 19 to be a part of our CSJ commercial. And all you gotta do is go to www.comingsofjesus.org and get your Comics of Jesus shirt, and then you can film anywhere. You can film around your house or in your bedroom or in front of a green screen. And all you say is that I'm one of the million. This is not a trend. This is a movement. And if you want any more information, you can email us at info@comicsofjesus.org or call us at 1-844-937-4821.
Welcome back to Real Life with Duke White. I am Crystal. And before we left the break, we were talking about sex trafficking. You are right here. You've been born and raised in the United States.
Yes.
And you were talking to me before the show about how you really didn't know about sex trafficking that much until here recently.
Yeah,
you didn't really hear about it.
Basically, after I started working with Christina, I started asking, actually I was just talking about it with some church people, and somebody that had a lot of information started telling me how prevalent it actually is here in Virginia Beach. And then I started looking into it, and it really is, and I was shocked. Yeah. You know, I have a 15-year-old daughter, you know,
right. Mm-hmm.
Really makes you think.
Yeah, it does. My daughter had a really scary encounter one time. She was a cheerleader, and she was just jogging around our block, and I thought we lived in a pretty safe neighborhood, and she was about 14, I think, when this happened, and she was just jogging around the block. Next thing I knew, she comes running in the house, like hysterical, crying. She said a guy in a black car came up and was trying to get her to get into the car.
Wow.
And it was scary. And so that people don't realize, like, girls are scared. They go through a lot of stuff, and boys too. But I think girls, it's like 78% go as sex trafficked, boys 22%. But our young girls are very vulnerable all over the world. This isn't just a one country thing, a two country thing. This is something that's happening all over the entire world.
It is,
and it's everywhere. And it's time that people band together and really put a stop to it. It is modern day slavery.
It is.
It's absolutely modern day slavery, and we should not accept this. These are children. Like I was saying earlier, most of the average age for a child that goes into sex trafficking is 12 to 14 years old when they start. 12 to 14. I can't imagine. When my daughter was 12, like she was sweet, innocent little girl. I can't imagine a 12-year-old girl's having to grow up and face evil so young, because that's what it is. It's pure evil.
And the traffickers pay more for the younger girls.
Right. They do pay more. And it's a $150 billion industry. $150 billion. And you do another, I guess, you have something else. What's it called? The Daughters
by Design?
Yes, Daughters by Design. That's what it is. You have another ministry that you do.
Yes.
So the first one deals with girls that are in crisis, basically.
Yeah.
And the other one is kind of like a prevention.
Yeah, we just, once per year, we recognize that nobody was telling girls that they could wait,
Right.
that they didn't need to be sexually active. Nobody was telling them to value themselves. So we started that. This year, I'm not sure what we'll do because I've been very tired.
Right.
But just to empower them. I can remember one girl calling me at my office and said, Miss, this boy asked me for my number, and I told him no. And he asked me, you just said no like that. I just said no, because she felt empowered.
She was empowered.
This was her, yeah. And so we have to teach our girls, abstinence has become a curse word almost. No, it's not possible. But we have the teaching that you can have sex avoidance, yes, or the other thing is reduction. I mean, people promote reducing sexual activity, or reducing diseases, reducing pregnancies, etc. We say you can avoid it altogether, because your position in your mind, it first begins in how you think. If you value yourself, you're going to wait until the right person is there for you, and that right person should want to marry you. And
Right.
you have to preserve yourself, they preserve themselves, and there's no disease, there's no fear. And I've seen it happen. I've been at the wedding of a 24-year-old girl, 23, her spouse was 25, and they met at 13. But they had a zero tolerance for any sexual activity. Wow. They decided to honor God with their bodies. They had finished, the guy finished his university education, and she finished teacher training college, and it was a beautiful wedding to behold. It's still happening.
A lot of teenagers have sex, and they start doing it because they try to find their value in someone else.
Yeah.
They try to find the love, or they think that if they do that, then they're going to get love, or they just have low self-esteem. They try to find value.
Yeah.
But yeah, if we let our kids know from a young age that God loves them, and that they're loved, and they're special, and they're unique, there's a greater chance that they're not going to have sex, and they're not going to get pregnant. So there's not going to be as many abortions if they take it seriously, that they are loved, and that they have control over their own bodies, and nobody else does. Do you find that program really helps girls?
It helps them, but in the pressures that they face in our society, there's a lot of sexual permissiveness, and there's the expectation that they should not be able to say no. But some have gone on to university and college. I know that the program has helped them. Not all, but I know that many have successfully completed and continued to preserve their lives. But just going back to the matter of the sex trafficking, because some mothers are pushing their children into sexual activity. So you end up, I have come to believe that there's a direct link between early sexual, molestation, that kind of stuff, trading of our children, leading to early pregnancies, and not even preteen pregnancies. And when that is happening, there's a desire, there's a demand for abortion, and therefore the young girl, her life is just turned around in a way that only interventions such as we give, where we help her to value herself in spite of what has happened, in spite of your past. We say your past does not define you. You embrace the right thinking for yourself, and it will turn around your life. And we have seen that happen. Right now, I have a 17-year-old, 4 years, her child will soon be 5 years old. And she's doing very well in school because we have been there supporting her. And she understands the value of education, and she's connected to the Lord.
So this pregnancy center isn't just a roof over their head.
Not just a roof over their head.
Therapy and education
Yes.
love.
And there's a lot of anger with it, so we allow them to get therapists, and I mean, it's an awesome thing.
Of course there is.
Yeah,
who wouldn't have anger inside of them when stuff like that happens to them?
But there's hope. We give them hope for the future, and that's what makes a difference.
Yeah, and Jesus can be there. Jesus will be there. And
I don't know how we can get to the mothers
to
value their children.
Is there fathers?
Many fathers are just absent. Right. I think 90% of our children now are born outside of marriage.
90?
So 90%, and it's crazy.
Oh, no,
so it's headed by women, and women are under pressure, and they're working hard and they're working long. And if a girl gets pregnant, it's because she's afraid that the same thing. Many times the relationships break down between mother and daughter because they're afraid that what happened to them as teenagers will happen to their daughters. Right. So they put pressure on them, and it's a lot of factors that go into this matter of explosion that happens to our girls.
It seems like there needs to be a lot of cycles broken.
Most definitely.
Especially with the young men and the teenage men growing up to know that, hey, stay with your family. It's the same thing we're doing with girls. Value yourself. You can wait too.
Yes.
Get married, have a family, be a good father.
So the men need to be teaching them.
Right. Because 90%.
But what happens in our culture is that when a young boy becomes sexually active, a man will slap him on his back and say, "You're a man now, you're a man up." Foolishness. Right. So he's thinking conquest. And meanwhile, girls are more victimized.
Wow, that is heartbreaking.
Yeah.
It really is. I can't imagine. Did you see anything? You've spent some time in Jamaica.
I have, yes.
Did you see anything like this, like where, any type of prostitution on the streets, or do you think it's well hidden?
I think it's really well hidden. I haven't, but I also don't really go places where I might see something like that. I go to my husband's hometown or stay with Christina. But I did want to mention also, I think, especially in the States, medical facilities. I had to take my daughter to a OBGYN recently, and she asked,
I want to encourage you. If today you find yourself pregnant or afraid that you're pregnant and need some help, don't be afraid to call us. If you're in Jamaica, call us at 876-322-1157 or 876-446-6524, and we're on WhatsApp, so we're worldwide. If you're not in Jamaica, you can still reach out to us on the internet. We speak to you on Facebook, help you to overcome the crisis that you're going through. We never tell you what to do, but we can give you information that will help you to make some good decisions. You are valuable, you're worthwhile, and so is your unborn child. You deserve to be loved and protected. Our address in Montego Bay is Shop 14 of the Victory Building, 3 to 5 4th Street, Montego Bay, St. James. We welcome you. If you just need somebody to talk to, there's always somebody there, Monday to Friday, 9 o'clock until 5 o'clock. All right? See you soon.